What's cracking, y'all? It's your boy Addict85, and in this video, I'm going to talk about my personal top 5 most wanted boxers not confirmed to be in Undisputed so far. Let's get into it. Now, we're a little over a week out until the early access release of Undisputed. Now, in the early access build, we're guaranteed to have a little over 50 confirmed boxers, both male and female. Now, at full release of the game, whenever that's going to be, we're confirmed to have more than 200 boxers in the game. It's a very, very deep roster. If you go over to their official website, you can check it out. You can see some of the names in there. There's some big names, there are some heavy hitters, but in my opinion, there are some boxes left that have not been announced yet. Now, some of these names may not be in the game ever, but I think they have a possibility of getting some of these names in the game eventually at some point, even if it's not at, initial release. Now, I think rolling into initial release, they will need to save some of these big names for promotional purposes and stuff, so I think there's a chance. We can get some of these names. But let's go ahead and get into it. Now, for me, number 5, this might be a surprise to some of y'all. This might be a sleeper pick, but I want to see Antonio Tarver in Undisputed. Now, hear me out. Now, growing up, the height of my boxing interest, I guess you could say, was when Roy Jones had his run. I've said it many times, Roy Jones Jr. is my favorite boxer, and arguably Roy Jones's toughest rival, biggest rival, was Antonio Tarver. I was there from the start when they were going at it. They're both from Florida, huge rivalry there. They fought a total of 4 times if you include their very first meeting as amateurs. They split them 2-2, but the 2 most recent fights as professionals went to Antonio Tarver. So I would love nothing more than to get that rivalry going once again. Roy Jones Jr. versus Antonio Tarver. Let's make it happen in Undisputed. Now, the last time we saw Antonio Tarver officially in a video game was in Fight Night Round 2. Now, I did some research. I thought he would have been in some of the other ones, like at least round 3 or 4. According to my research, he was in Fight Night Round 2. And then, of course, he was in the original Fight Night. But we haven't seen Antonio Tarver in a boxing video game in a long time. I think he deserves to be in a boxing video game. He was a great fighter, had a great career. And he beat Roy Jones twice, man, professionally. I need them to run that back, man. I need to get some revenge for my boy Roy Jones. But yeah, Antonio Tarver, he's my number 5 pick. Number 4 pick for me is going to be Lennox Lewis, arguably one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time and definitely the best during his era, during his run. Last time we saw him in a boxing game was in Fight Night Champion back in 2011. Now, obviously, Lennox Lewis, he has ties to EA Sports because he was in previous Fight Night games. So, at least we know he's open to being in video games. We know that he's open to having his likeness placed in the video game, but can Undisputed get him? I mean, there should be some connections that are able to be made, being that Steel City Interactive is a UK-based company. Lennox Lewis is from over there, or at least around the corner somewhat. I don't know. But I think they can get him, and maybe they're saving him for full release. I think with what we have so far in the Undisputed roster, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Ali, Frazier, I think Lennox Lewis will be a great addition to the heavyweights that we have so far, and I would love to see how Steel City Interactive depicts his fighting style, his stance, and everything like that. And number 3 for me is Evander Holyfield. If Roy Jones is my favorite boxer of all time, Evander Holyfield might be number 2 for me. I remember that run that he had. I remember those fights with Mike Tyson. Evander was my guy, man, and I remember playing the 1992 game, Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing on my Sega, and I played that game so damn much with my brother, man. A lot of great memories playing that game. To me, it was a really, really good game. I put in a lot of hours in that game. Now, of course, Evander was in some of the fight nights, but for nostalgia purposes, I would love to play Evander Holyfield again. What are your thoughts on Holyfield as a boxer, and do you think Undisputed can get him in the game? Number 2 for me, Mike Tyson. Now, who doesn't want Mike Tyson in a video game? He's arguably the most popular boxer of all time, maybe only behind Muhammad Ali, but everybody knows Tyson, everybody loves Tyson. I mean, why not have him in Undisputed? Now, the last time we saw Mike Tyson in a meaningful video game, and I'm not going to count that Mike Tyson slot game if you're not going to count it, was back in 2016 with EA Sports UFC 2. He was obviously in Fight Night Champion as well, but UFC 2 is the most recent AAA heavy-duty video game that we have Mike Tyson in. Would love to see him in Undisputed. Now, I would love to see how Steel City Interactive will capture Mike Tyson's boxing style. When you think of Mike Tyson, you think of that classic peekaboo that he's known for, being aggressive, being always on the offense, bobbing and weaving, and I would love to see them capture that in a video game and see if they can nail it. Number one for me, of course, Floyd Mayweather Jr. Love him or hate him, you want to see him in Undisputed. I mean, that would be a super huge name to have in the game. They already locked in Jeff Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather Sr. in Undisputed as trainers. So obviously, they got close to the Mayweather name. They got close to the family, at least close enough to get those two. You know, it's possible that they can get Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who's to say that they don't already have him locked in and they're just waiting for full release? Last time we saw him in a video game was in Fight Night Round 2. I thought he would have been in some of the other ones, but again, he was not. Now, that's a big name to get. You know Floyd likes his money. You know he wants to get compensated for his likeness being in a video game. I would love to see Steel City Interactive secure somebody like Floyd Mayweather Jr. If that about wraps it up, man, that's my top 5 most wanted boxers that I want to see in Undisputed that haven't been confirmed so far. Again, I think some of these names they can get. It's possible that some of them are already lined up and they're just, you know, they got them in that tuck with the full release down the line. I'm hopeful. I want to see all 5 of them in there. That would be my dream come true. The roster's already deep. There's already some great boxes confirmed for early access and for full release, but it wouldn't hurt to have these 5 names. Hop in the comments. Let me know who you want to see. Let me know if you think I missed anybody, man. Let me know if you want to knock somebody off my list and bump somebody up. If you like what you saw, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, man. I'm trying to get my numbers up. Until the next time, peace.